Hello everybody, welcome to a map making tutorial. Today we're going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to show you how to make a road using Inkarnate and some of the blending tools to make it look a little interesting. So hope you enjoy. If this is your first time here, we're going to start doing more of these videos, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, help us out. And let's get this thing started. First thing we do is, we take our map and we get it going. It's going to load up and then bring you to this, just pre-generated default area. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add some land. So this masking tool here, you can see it says create your land masses. And we're just going to cover the whole thing in land. This here will allow you to have different types of edges already put in. Since we're going to cover the entire map, it really doesn't matter, but here I'm just showing you just some of the different textures that it comes with pre-generated. We'll get into this later on when we start making rivers and whatnot. It's a pretty cool effect that Inkarnate offers. I don't have a script or anything. I'm just kind of improvising as I go. I'm not the best speaker in the world, so bear with me. But after we put some land in, we're going to show the grid. That way we know what scale we're working with. This is a 40 by 40, which we can adjust to whatever size we need. And I think it's whatever size. I don't know what the maximum is. Let's see. So 256 is the maximum. But let's knock this down to a 24-inch grid, which would be like a 24 by 24. All right. Each box is 5 feet. So we're going to do a little hunting trail. And it's going to be a little, just, a small little hunting trail. I'll show you what that looks like. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find our textures. We're going to go to core, because that's just the main one. And we're going to go to dirt. Now, when you just go and take the default here, brush size, the advanced settings, you can adjust the size and the rotation and everything of the actual texture. So this is what it is: full opacity, default 80. All right, and what happens is when you draw a line, I have this clicked on background, so nothing's going to happen. That's actually going to be behind underneath. So we'll click the foreground, because that's where we're working, and then we're going to make our road. That's it. Real simple. This is boring as fuck, but whatever, it does the trick. Now the softness over here is what will help determine whether or not you get a soft edge or a hard edge. If we turn it off all the way, you'll see that these lines, these edges, are a lot cleaner, but that doesn't look very good, like at all, in my opinion anyway. So in order to mess with that, put the softness back up, and if you just retrace, you see over here how it'll soften the edge for you. But even this transition is a little harsh. Alright, so I'm just softening out these edges. This is too big for a hunting trail. This one might work. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you these cool blending tricks you can do. This is the opacity. When it's fully up, it's completely opaque, and nothing gets through. I like working at about 30% over here, or 0.3 rather. And what that does is it allows you to click, and then as you go over, it's more like an airbrush, and you can build how intense the texture is going to be. Alright, you can do this, and again, you can play with the sizes. If you want to cover a larger area, like if I'm going to be working on this, let's say this trail is taking place in a forest somewhere, and this is the background. I don't want it to just be, even though this is already mixed up, this is still, you don't want to see like the stamp pattern, because this stuff will always, kind of repeat itself, and, you can see the pattern. So let me go back and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So opacity up all the way. Maybe let's bring this in. Start from scratch. But if you go out large enough, you can see the pattern. So for instance, this area here, see this square? And this little area right here, this is here. Same exact thing. Same exact thing here. Same exact thing here. So, you know, when you're playing the game and you're this close, it doesn't make a difference. You know, you're not going to really notice the pattern. But if you have an encounter where the creatures are actually, you know, 100, 150 feet away, you know, you're using cover, this kind of stuff, certain people will pick up on it. I mean, I do maps, so I notice things like this. Most people aren't going to notice it, but, you know, there's no sense in not playing it a little safe and making sure that your stuff looks a little unique. So let's go back to the dirt filter, or the dirt, whatever, brush, and we're going to start building our road. Now we're going to go back to the opacity. Remember, I like working at around 30. And what you're going to do is you're going to start softening up some of these edges even more. Just kind of like clicking around, you know, blending a little bit of the background, you know, into the trail, just to help soften up these edges. This is it. If that's not working fast enough for you, you can go a little higher. Go with the 50% opacity. And the whole thing, like for me, is kind of like working back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you're just kind of like happy. You know, then Inkarnate will come up with these little warnings. It says you made a lot of changes, consider changing your work. I mean, saving your work, sorry. So, just keep clicking. You're going to soften up these edges a little bit. Right? And then we also have these patches just like in the dirt itself. You know, so not everything's going to be all nice and clean like it was on the other one. Right? Just kind of mixing this up. I know it looks a little funky right now, but that's alright. It's all part of the process. Trust the process. I don't know if anybody here has watched some Bob Ross, but just imagine him dabbing the canvas. Blending, 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 going back and forth, blending, 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 right? Now remember, these are little hunting trails, so I'm going to make them a little bit thinner than what they were originally, because remember, each of these boxes are 5 feet, you know, so the hunting trail might be only like 2 feet across, depending on maybe what uses that trail, right? And again, you see how it's almost gone, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Now I'm going to go back again. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, say around 50. I'm going to go back down to my close to 30 and just start tapping in just the very center of this trail. Click, 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 click. Over years and years and years, this winds up destroying the mouse button, but it's okay. Get a new mouse. Yep. Alright, so there we go, hunting trail. Alright, then go back again. And then we're just gonna like kind of clean it up a little bit. Make it nice and thin. Little hunting trail, real simple. Alright, and just keep going back and forth until you're happy with it. You know, your players will start down here. Yeah. And that's just a simple trail. And then we'll take some of the assets, just make it a little bit more interesting. These are the trees. This is the core. You know, so get these trees. They come in default at 100, and then you can, you know, some will be large and smaller or whatever. Whenever I'm setting up these trees or obstacles or whatever, I try and align them with the grid. You know, so that way when I bring them over to Roll20 or whatever other virtual tabletop you're using, this will help you with the setting up dynamic lighting. I know Roll20, for example, when you're setting up the lighting, you can link it directly to the grid. You know, so if I do this, I just put this on the center of this grid. When I go to do my dynamic lighting, let's see if we can just get a little line just to show you. But, you know, I'll make an X. and snap it there to the middle, and then it'll help with the dynamic lighting. That's how I do it, and I love it. My players seem to love it. So all right, let's put some more of these trees in. Now you click the random stamp thing, and what it'll do is it'll randomly rotate them and pick from the different trees that are here. Some are larger, some are smaller. And same deal, just try and line them up with the grid a bit. They don't have to be perfect. This is all just random stuff to help block line of sight and help create a more immersive map for you to play with, or play on rather. Alright, some trees. Just keep it random. Sometimes I like to throw in some trees that are like not doing as well. Again, this is just to mix it up a little bit, make it a little fun. Maybe over here there was a deer that likes to stop and eat all the leaves on that bush. I don't know. Whatever, you come up with something that works for you. A little space up here, so I'm gonna throw in a little campsite. Why not? All right, a little campsite. Again, use that grid. That way when you go to set things up for your game, it just makes things so much easier, especially if you're using the grid. So we got an old campsite there, it's ruined. Let's find a tent. Let's do a messed up tent. Let's find one. There's some ruined stuff in here. Where is it? Ruined tents. We could type stuff in. Tent. There we go. Some ruined tents. Alright. Same deal. These tents, let's say these tents are meant for 2 people. So I guess a little bit smaller than a 10 by 10 should work. And just to keep it a little bit more visually interesting, throw things at an angle. It's bad enough that the grid is already squared. I mean, you can always do things at an angle, but for the grid, but it doesn't work very well with the VTCs. Everything just kind of to be like up and down, which is fine. We can use our imaginations and pretend it's at an angle. All right, so we got just a couple of ruined tents here. These all look the same, so I'm going to switch it up because what's the point of having everything look the same? It's just silly. That's just silly. Do this and then this one, just again to make it look different. Let's see, we got rugs. Let's get rid of the tents. I need an animal skin that's ruined. There we go. Just to make this look different. There we go. Maybe this was like a direwolf pelt or something. Alright. There we go. And then we're going to go back to our trails because this campsite is obviously worn or used. So let's just add some dirt in here to kind of make it look like it's been used a bit. Alright. Alright, it came in off the trail from here. That would make sense, right? That's some more. Again, this is just random, you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you're happy with the end result. Alright, take some of this shadow stuff here and just kind of intensify these shadows a little bit. And again, I'm working over here around 0.3. Those numbers kind of, they work for me. You find what works for you. Everything's going to be a little different. Everybody has different tastes. I'm just dropping some shadows here, intensifying these shadows. And again, less is more. I'm sure you've heard that saying, whether you're into art or whatever it is that you do. We can always add more later if this isn't cutting the mustard, so to say. Cutting the mustard. Yeah, I'm a shitty talker. But whatever. I guess I gotta keep you entertained somehow. Hopefully you're still here. Try and keep this short. I don't even know how long I've been doing this so far. Trying to do this quick. Sometimes these maps take like hours and hours and hours, depending on what kind of details and stuff you're going for. This I'm just trying to do real quick. Alright, just to give you guys a little sense of how to work with these blending tools. Alright, so when you zoom out, let's say there's a bird's eye view, You know, let's get that trail in there a little bit more. Alright, and then we're going to switch up the terrain again. Let's find, let's get some rocks or something. Go back to core. Where are my rocks? What's this? Piles of ruin? Nah. Some small rocks. Yeah, okay. We'll throw some small rocks out there. I don't like those. Hold on. Let's see. Let's make them a little larger. Go to advanced settings. The density. Let's thin it out a little bit. Larger area. And transform is the size. No. Placement. Where's the size? There we go. Okay. So, alright, cool. Throw some rocks in. Because there's rocks in nature. Alright. If you're gonna have an encounter with an ogre or something cool like that, these little things are great for the NPCs or whatever, the monsters to just pick up and use them as weapons. I'm gonna take all these rocks and put them on a lower layer because I want them to be underneath the trees. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to put more stuff and start layering. So I'll show you how all that works. So let's go to terrain. That's where the rocks are. Alright, let's get some pretty rocks. Look at that. That's a pretty rock. That's a big rock. Alright, let's put a big rock right here. Boom. One there. One there. You see, I like to put them like underneath. And it just adds a little bit more depth. Let's move that. That's like in the way. Here's a nice location for a big rock. Put another one here. And again, I'm trying to use this grid also. You know, saying like they don't have to be perfect, but try and work with the grid. It makes your dynamic lighting and cover and everything so much easier to set up once you get over to your VTT if you're using one. Alright, that works. A couple of rocks. Let's put this over here. Alright, some boulders. What else can we do? Let's put some fallen trees. Let's see, let's see what we have for logs. No logs. There we go. Okay. Split logs. Let's see what we got here. Let's figure out the scale. We're gonna go with single. Alright, so look how thick the trunks are on that tree. So for this one, we're gonna have to kind of bring it to like there so that it kind of fits. So there's broken logs. Put this here and here. There we go. And then we can put them together and it makes it look like they fell or something. I don't know. They were broken. They have stumps. Let's see. Let's find a stump. Here we go. See? But these look cut. I don't want it to look cut. Alright, so it looks broken. I'm going to put that there. Go a little bit larger. And then send it back. Boom. So now, hopefully, this tree looks like it was snapped. Maybe. We have imaginations, right? And then we're going to go back to the shadows. I'm going to just add some shadows where the rocks are. The larger ones. Alright, again, this doesn't, have to be all crazy. Just kind of adding a little bit of depth. The players will be able to put the world together, just with these little details that we're adding. They'll understand what's going on. They start off over here, they've been following a game trail, they notice it splits, then they see a camp. It's off to one side. Maybe they go investigate. Maybe there's something going on. Alright, what else can we add here? They have webs. I don't know if you guys have ever been into the woods, but there are lots of spiders. And they make things interesting. So a huge web, let's say right here. That seems kind of cool. All right, let's put another one. Put another one back there. Let's say over here. Make them big. Big webs. Something going on. It'll scare them. You know, the players. They're gonna be like, "What's that? There's something over here. Be careful." And if not, and they walk into the web, then you know that's some cool environmental things that you could just throw into the game. You know, let's put this tree on the bottom. I think that looks nicer. There you go. All right, and then we can have some fun. Put some puddles. Let's put some puddles of water. So let's go to the water. Where's the water? Let's go with this. Dirt. I don't know. Let's see. Put a puddle over here. Hit a puddle. Put another one over here. Alright, and then that's fine. Do like that. That'll work. Alright, now I'm gonna add a little bit of this green. This green. Alright, and then we gotta add some blue to reflect the sky. And that's not working. That's not working the way I thought it would. Need something darker. There we go. That's a little nicer. There we go. A little bit of water. I need it to be more brown, more mud. That works. A little puddle. Okay. Then we're going to go back here to the masking tool. And in order to add water, it's real simple. It kind of does it for you. I'm going to take this. I'm going to make it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of trace this area where I want the water to be. You see how it kind of gets rid of it? And it adds that little texture. Right? That's why I do my lines. Alright. Then what you do is you just come in here and you just take out wherever you want the water to be. You can have a little island in there. Maybe this tree growing. Nah, I don't like that. Okay. Alright, then we're going to go back to the paintbrush. Now we make sure we go in the background. Alright, because this area is the background. I'm going to go in without mud. Alright, go full opacity and make it a little faster. Alright, going with that green. And it's cool because now I can paint over here and not worry about the land anymore. Because it kind of creates like that mask. Alright, then I'm going to go with that blue. Alright, now you see around the water's edge here, it has like these ripple effects and that heavy brown line. Alright, we can play with that. First I'm gonna get rid of that stroke because I don't really care for it. I'm gonna get rid of that shadow because I don't really care for it. And the inner shadow too. Get rid of that. Alright. Let's get rid of the outline. Okay. So now I have something that I can blend in manually. Now a lot of people don't like to do this, and you don't have to do this. This is just something I enjoy doing. And I'm going to go back to the dirt and the original grass that we used for the area. Still in the background. And all I'm going to do is kind of like blend up these edges a little bit. Alright, do it around all of them. These are just like little puddles. These aren't, you know, like ponds or lakes or anything. Way too small for that. Alright. So I blended some of those edges. Go back with the dirt. You'll see. And the thing is, these puddles, they're going to be real subtle, but they'll be noticeable, you know, by your players. Like this one's a little harsh. So let me go back. I didn't blend that out properly. Like that harsh line there. Oh, the green. Okay. Then the same thing, I come in with the dirt. And with this, I gotta go back to the foreground and do some blending too. Okay. Then, let's see what we have here for some grass. Just to put around the edges of those little water areas. We got some grass here, and then we got grass lines. Alright, we'll do some spiky grass. Make this smaller so it makes sense. And then we're just gonna put in some grass just around the water. And since this is kind of different than the rest of the map, you know, maybe these grass things can, I don't know, offer some kind of in-game benefit. Maybe they're like a specific type of herb that can be harvested and turned into something beneficial. Who knows? I don't know. Do whatever you like. Use your imagination. Alright, I'm going to blend that in. Alright, and again, the whole trick to blending is just going back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you're happy with whatever it is that you're trying to create. Alright, we're going to go back. We want some of these pebbles to be in the water. And the way you do that is very simple. Take this, your opacity, knock it down to like 25. And now it looks like you have rocks under the water. Pretty simple. Let's make it a little smaller so it'll fit. And that's it. Alright, so here we are. Alright, let's look at the whole map. And we have a very simple random encounter trail map that was put together in, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, or if there's something that you want to see specifically, you know, leave a comment, let us know, and we'll try and get that together for you. Alright, thanks for watching.